Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Heavy snow, rain, wind, some of the conditions that will make travel hazardous as a system moves through North Dakota. The Department of Transportation and the Highway Patrol have extended the no travel advisory for the north central parts of the state. That includes Williston, Tioga, Watford City, and Newtown. Also right now, a travel alert for western and central North Dakota. Looking at our Skycam in Bismarck, we can see the first blast of snow has moved through the capital. And now Minot is dealing with the dangerous driving conditions and reduced visibility from that heavy and blowing snow. And here's our view from our friends at Dakota Magic Casino on I-29 at the South Dakota border. Cities in this area affected by the travel alert include Jamestown, Valley City, Edgeley, Medina, and surrounding areas. They are under the gun for snow and blowing snow. Taking a look outside in Fargo, the wind is starting to blow, one of the first signs of the snowy weather that will move through shortly. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch?
All right, Andrea, thank you. One of the first changes we noticed happen as we went through the afternoon, the National Weather Service dropped our southern North Dakota counties from the warning and replaced it with a winter weather advisory. And that also includes the FM area, Detroit Lakes, and Otter Tail counties. Grand Forks County remains in a winter weather advisory, as does northeasternmost parts of North Dakota. Winter storm warnings where you see the red counties from central North Dakota into the Devil's Lake Basin through the Jamestown and Valley City areas through the morning tomorrow. Now here is a look at the latest radar, and we do have some moderate to heavy snow bands developing up in the Devil's Lake Basin. Where you see the dark blues and whites, those are snowfall rates upwards of 1 to 2 inches per hour for Benson, Ramsey, and Towner counties, and it's just trying to squeak its way into western parts of Grand Forks County at this time. Here in the Southern Valley, very quiet and dry as we have snow showing up on the radar over Fargo, but as you saw on the Skycam locally, not much going on yet. The heaviest snow potential will continue to be in the Devil's Lake Basin. Here's the forecast as we go through the evening. By 10 o'clock tonight, southeast North Dakota and eastern South Dakota near Sisseton, very heavy snow bands are likely to develop there while the snow continues in the Devil's Lake area. These are the two areas of concern: the Cheyenne River Valley, the James River Valley, and on into the Devil's Lake Basin along with Sisseton. The snow continues through eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota until we get through the morning hours tomorrow. Most of your Saturday looks pretty good. We're going for 1 to 4 inches for Fargo. We're very close to where we could see that 2 to 3, and that's what we're looking at. I think 3 to 6 in the Devil's Lake Basin is a good bet, but isolated locations under those heavy bands could see a little bit more, upwards of 8 inches. Likewise for Jamestown and Point South. The Sisseton Hills could be the hardest hit with the amount of moisture that's heading up in that general direction. We'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast of this and round 2 of our winter weather event that takes place into early next week here in a minute.
All right. Thank you so much, Hutch.
You bet.
Some parents and other residents of the Richland 44 School District are circulating petitions to try to recall 3 school board members in the wake of a hazing investigation. The Daily News reports that the board members targeted are not up for election this year, while 4 others are. Petition organizers hope to replace the majority of the board by voting in new members in June. Member Derek Beto says the group believes the current board isn't responsive enough to the public. Richland County authorities in February referred 5 boys to juvenile court for their roles in alleged hazing in the boys' locker room. Counts against them include felonious restraint, terrorizing, hazing, and sexual assault. Earlier this month, the board put the school superintendent on paid leave. Developing this evening in what could be described as a botched burglary. Fargo police say burglars who tried to steal some drugs fled from a house and dropped packages of marijuana in their haste. The burglary early Friday involved 2 men who fled in a car. The initial report indicated a shot was fired, but Sergeant Jared Wagner tells KFGO News it's believed a cap gun or some type of replica gun was involved. Officers searched the area but didn't find any trace of the suspects. Police were alerted by someone who ran to the nearby Loaf and Jug and told an employee to call 911. Fargo and West Fargo police departments have teamed up along with the state's attorney and sheriff's office in a new YouTube video explaining the North Dakota overdose and immunity law.
If these criteria are met, the statute grants individuals immunity from prosecution for possession,
ingestion, or sharing of a controlled substance or possession of drug paraphernalia that occurred at the scene where the overdose occurred.
The video details the law where people can report an overdose without getting in trouble for being on the scene. But in order to receive immunity, a person reporting an overdose must follow the law by staying at the scene and cooperating with emergency medical services to ensure the individual gets proper treatment. West Fargo Police Chief Heath Yonke says the area's officials came together to let people know they can trust the law.
This law is on the books. We're talking about it all as law enforcement and prosecutors here in the Metro, that this law is here to protect them and make that phone call and save that life.
The amended version of the law has been around since 2017, but State's Attorney Birch Burdick tells Valley News Live it's important people know the point of this Good Samaritan law is to save lives. As the video states, the law does not provide immunity for delivery, manufacturing, or distribution of a controlled substance. About a dozen students from Minnesota are on their way to Washington for the March for Our Lives event. About 36 students from the Sunfish Lake area, along with teachers and volunteers, boarded a bus earlier today to make the more than 14-hour-long drive. They received about $30,000 in donations to make the trip possible. Many were already talking about Saturday's march.
It's incredible for me. Just seeing all of the recent headlines of violence in our schools, I'm honestly fed up, and I'm really inspired and so happy that we got these donations and that we're able to go on this trip. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Those students will be taking part in the National March for Our Lives event in Washington. However, thousands of Minnesota students, teachers, and parents are preparing to march from Harriet Island to the Minnesota State Capitol tomorrow to encourage legislative action to ensure safe schools and reduce violence. And in honor of the march, Governor Mark Dayton has proclaimed tomorrow as March for Our Lives Day in Minnesota. Fighting cancer is often a team effort, and a West Fargo boys team keeps growing. 10-year-old Landon Solberg is battling an aggressive form of brain cancer. The first step in his journey was radiation treatments. He went in 5 days a week for 6 weeks. Most people would dread it, but Landon had a special coach helping him through it.
I think it showed me that, you just have to live every day.
Tonight on Valley News Live at 10, meet a radiation therapist at the Roger Maris Cancer Center who motivated Landon during his treatments. And to celebrate Landon wrapping up his radiation treatments and moving forward with chemotherapy, there's a big fundraiser for him tomorrow at Freedom Elementary in West Fargo. It runs from 5 to 8. There will be a free will donation dinner, silent auction, bouncy houses, and carnival. For more information, go to valleynewslive.com. The 5th annual Laser Fest is just now getting underway. It's billed as an experience like no other, and the festivities started a few minutes ago. At 5 this evening, hundreds are expected to come out to revel in the incredible imagery and dazzling laser light effects at MSUM Planetarium. There will be something for everyone with laser shows featuring music from the Beatles, The Doors, Queen, Michael Jackson, Pink Floyd, and Lady Gaga.
It's just really a treat for the senses. So you come in, you get to enjoy some really fun, colorful lights and some great music.
The shows run through Sunday. Admission is $8, but if you are a Tri-College student or senior, 55 and older, you'll pay $5. Children under 12 get in free. We will be right back after this break.